Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Ordinary Daily version of the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Scott. I'll be your host today. Oh man, I gotta tell you, this cat is killing me. Anyone has any ideas? 4:30 this morning, this thing meowing, waking me up, scratching the walls. Anyone's got ideas how to take care of this problem? Short of assassination, I'd love to know. It's, I don't know, I'm going to have to lock this thing up in the basement, I think. And then even then, I worry that he's going to just tear the whole place down. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. He's killing me. I didn't get to sleep very early last night. I was in bed. Just couldn't fall asleep one of those nights. So I'm on 4 hours of sleep. It's crushing. I didn't even watch the tournament. I didn't watch one game of the NCAA tournament last night. My bracket, first 11 games, 11 for 11. Crushing it. Then I watched Syracuse lose. Syracuse, is it me? It seems like every year they either disappoint or they do better than you expect. Every year. It's like you can't get Syracuse right in your bracket, no matter what. So I watched them play Duke this year. I watched them beat Duke. And I thought maybe this was a year they could kind of surprise. I think I had them winning 2 rounds and upsetting Gonzaga. And I like that. I like that pick. You got to be a little different when you pick something. You got to do something different in order to win these things. You can never just, pick the favorites. So then I went to bed last night and I was reading the New York Post because I look for Jets articles. And I found out that one of Syracuse's best players was tested positive for drugs and was out for the whole tournament. You find that out, of course, when the pool is already submitted and you can't change anything, and you've already had them, you have them in there upsetting a number 1 seed, and their best player isn't playing, and then they lose, and then your bracket is screwed. But who knows? You never know with these things. I'm still up there. I think I got 13 right yesterday. Wonder how you guys did. So what I noticed today, I feel like I'm a little, everything is a little off with me the last few days. So even this sign was actually, so I have these little blank templates. And, today I came down here. I didn't have any more blanks left. I printed out 5 or 6 of them when I first created it, and didn't have any more this morning. And I could print them out, but the printer's upstairs. It's in Stephanie's office, which is next to the baby's room. I don't really need to wake the baby up. That would not be good. So luckily for me, though, I was able to kind of write over it. 128 days left to Lake Placid. And luckily for me, I weighed exactly the same today as I did yesterday, 219.6. Weight-wise, it's been a good week for me. And I got to tell you, I've been eating. This is why it's so weird, why weight is such a weird stat. I've been eating this week. Now, I haven't really been eating poorly, as in I'm not gorging myself with burgers and pizza and fries or anything like that. It's more just a lot of, and this is typically my thing, a lot of food that's relatively healthy. I'll give you an example, actually. And this isn't even really healthy, actually, now that I think about it. So yesterday, I had one of these RX bars before I came down to do the podcast. Then for breakfast, I made sweet potatoes with eggs, like a sweet potato hash kind of thing. Came out pretty good. I probably had another RX bar then. I went to the gym and did a swim. Now my schedule is all off. We're going to get to that in a second. My schedule is just, this week you might as well just rip it up, start again. This week was just brutal. It's not going to get any better next week either. So I went and did my swim, came back, I had oatmeal. I sat in the parking lot at Chipotle, right across from the gym. Was at the Chipotle parking lot. I called Stephanie because I knew she'd be hungry. to ask her if she wanted lunch. And I was in such a good mindset after the gym. I'm thinking, I'm just going to go into Chipotle, get her lunch, bring it home, and then I'm going to have, like, I do this thing after workouts where I have, like, this oatmeal, some kind of organic oatmeal, which is actually pretty tasty. And I put a scoop of protein powder in it with almond milk, and I zap it in the microwave, and it's pretty good. Carbs, protein, just a good rejuvenation kind of post-workout meal. And that was going to be my lunch. So Stephanie doesn't pick up the phone. I get home. I make my little oatmeal thing. And she comes down. She's like, "Oh, you called me?" Obviously, she saw the call. She's working. She can't pick up. I'm like, "Yeah, I just want to know if you wanted Chipotle, but, I'm home now." She's like, "Oh, I want Chipotle." So, what does the unemployed husband got to say about that? I basically, that's a you're going to Chipotle right now to get me lunch. Okay. So I drive to Chipotle, and of course, whereas the first time in, I was fully prepared to resist myself. The second time in, even after eating the oatmeal thing, now I'm like, I'm still kind of hungry. So of course, I double down, and instead of having one lunch, I kind of had two. Yeah, I know. I mean, I do try to keep it healthy there. I'm not throwing sour cream on there. There's nothing really bad that I throw on there. And from what I understand, their ingredients are usually pretty good in terms of, like, where they get them from and things like that. I don't know. Even though they've made people sick in the past. I don't know. But, yeah, so, it was, what I'm saying is, I guess I eat decent food. I get the brown rice and not the white rice. I try to do good, I try to do my best. It's just the way it goes. So I got home and I passed out in the afternoon. I've been getting up so early, going to bed so late, and I just sort of, like, I don't know what happened. I was reading an article or something, stumbled into the room and just crashed for like 2 hours. It was glorious. I had to pick up Sam, I had to bring her to cheer, make her dinner. Before I knew it, the day was gone. I wanted to run another 5 miles yesterday. That was kind of like the plan, and it wasn't written down in the schedule. Was kind of, like I said, the schedule is just blown up for the week. Once I took that rest day yesterday, or 2 days ago, it was blown up for the week because things move around, and I want to do one thing, and I don't, So basically, I was gonna lift, I was gonna swim, I was gonna run yesterday, and the only thing I did was swim. And I got to tell you, I'm not regretting it today. I had a very productive swim. I got to say, you guys out there, you guys are really hooking me up lately. I talked about the swim on the podcast, and how I kind of had trouble, like, staying there, and I don't go with any kind of workout in my mind. I just kind of go and say, swim as long as you can, and then I get bored, or I get tired, and I just leave. Always leaving, like, stuff on the table, and I, no less than 3 of you guys reached out to me with actual swim workouts or ideas for swim workouts. And just so I don't upset 2 people, I won't even let you know. But one of your suggestions I took to heart, and I went, and I took that workout, and I attacked it in the pool, and I did the entire thing. I did it pretty much to the T, and it wasn't like a tremendous, load of workout. Like, it wasn't like 5,000 yards of swimming, but maybe it was 2,000. And the way it was kind of laid out, there was like a lot of sprint swimming, and it's just things that I don't normally do. And it was productive, and it kept me a little more engaged. The pool was empty, which was wonderful. And I got a really solid, probably, I guess without a doubt, my best swim workout in yesterday. Which, for me is, normally my swim workout is blah. It's nothing. How far did you swim today? That's what I do. So yesterday, very good swim. Now I came home and I was still thinking about doing the 5 miles, and I got to tell you, my legs were still a little bit sore. And I kind of feel like over the years I've developed a sense for good sore and bad sore, and they felt a little bad sore, like a little, I don't know, like just something wrong, Like it's not, for some reason when I'm really running a lot or biking a lot, like my legs get tight but not sore. My legs now are sore. And I gotta say, today I woke up and they feel great. I feel like, I don't know, I just rolled out of bed on a, after tapering or after, recovering from a race or something. I feel all recovered. I feel great. So maybe these 2 days, even though they weren't productive on paper, maybe they're productive in the fact that I've just kind of rejuvenated the legs and they're a little bit back and yeah, now I can start at it again. And, in the past, it takes me a long time to kind of realize when I'm in a rut. It'll take me days. Like I'll realize, like, hey, and it's very easy when you think about it. I have everything written down. Everything. This is what I'm supposed to do. I have everything written down. This is what I'm supposed to do. This workout. This workout. This workout. This day. And if I at least attempt it, I feel good about myself. But if I don't even attempt it, I get down. Like I get really down on myself. I get really upset. Like I say, I'm my own worst critic. So it's like. It would be very easy for me to take these 2 rest days and be like, oh, I'm headed down the wrong path. And I feel like this is partly what happened to me last year. You skip a workout, you skip a second workout, you don't feel so hot. Skipping a workout sometimes maybe in a way feels good. You don't have that responsibility hanging over your head all day. Got to get it done. And in a way it feels good that you don't have that. You feel a little free. But then in the long run, you look back and you say, what did I do? I have this goal I want to reach. What did I do? And lucky, I haven't gained weight. I haven't, I don't think I've lost any, obviously, I would say for me, it takes at least maybe like a week or 2 before things start turning the opposite direction. I start losing fitness. So I don't think I've lost any fitness in 2 days rest. That would be silly. And even yesterday was like, active rest day. That's what Laura called it. Active rest day includes stretching, yoga, swimming. I think elliptical would count. Something that's low impact. So I took a rest day, active rest day, ready to hit it today. Of course, my personal schedule today, of course, it's going to get in the way. We got some things that we got to do in the morning. And then Sam has her cheer. So Sam this year, she does winter cheer. And we have a local hockey team in Springfield. Sort of like a semi-pro, not semi-pro. It's like I don't know what they call them. Like the minor leagues of hockey. And she's cheering. That's her. So her culminating event of the winter cheer is that they cheer at this event. Because they don't cheer for basketball. There's no football. So they're cheering for the Springfield hockey team. So we got to go down to that, which is awesome. Awesome. I can't wait to see her. I love when she does these little things, But again, it's something I need to do, something I have to do, something that it's certainly a priority that takes precedence and over the workout. And so I have some time in the middle of the day that I'm going to get some stuff done. I just right now with the schedule blown up, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I have to kind of come up with a plan. And it's not going to happen on the podcast, unfortunately, but it should happen at some point. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then tomorrow, Saturday, again in the morning, we have something at like 10 o'clock in the morning, which is like the worst time because if you're going to do a long run, that means I have to wake up at like 5 a.m. to do it. That's not going to happen this Saturday. So I'm going to have to do something in the afternoon. Steffi and I, when we start getting behind on, we call it the business, which is like basically the podcast and all kinds of things related. Now we're way behind with Ordinary Marathon stuff. If you haven't registered for Ordinary Marathon, you have until the end of the month to register, and still be able to get your personalized bib and still be able to ensure that if you order a t-shirt, that it comes in time for the race. After March 31st, we can't personalize bibs and we can't guarantee that you're going to get your shirt after a certain time or, after, on time for the race at that point. We can try, but we can't guarantee it. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, we we haven't really been plugging the race. We were on fire when we opened registration back in January and February. We were on fire. It was all over the place. And, life kind of takes over and things fall to, kind of to the back. And it's certainly fallen off the cliff here. We've kind of dropped the ball a little bit. So we're trying to get out on that front and get things working over there. We have to send out an email. We call it, basically we schedule a meeting is what we do. We actually schedule a meeting in our house and we sit at the kitchen table and we go over every aspect of the business. And we call it the business, even though business suggests that we receive revenue. Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. It's all out of pocket, guys. Anyway, but it's nice to kind of, again, put things in order, set priorities, make sure we start checking off boxes, things of that nature. And so we're supposed to do that. And then I'm supposed to do, and I don't know, long run, long bike. I don't know. Sunday I wanted to get outside on the bike, but I'm going to Race Mania in Boston. It's like a running triathlon convention. And looking forward to that. Mike Riley's speaking. So hopefully I can get out there. And when I come back, then Stephanie's going to New York. So I'll have the baby, which again is just, it's just impossible to work out when you have the baby. It's just impossible. So it's just, you see, it's like a lot to overcome. It's kind of like, this is the trying part, right? This is the trying, it'll drive you nuts because you know what you have to do and you have to get these workouts in some way. Otherwise, if I go 5 days with no working out, this is what happened last year. You'll see that weight next week go up to like 224, which can't happen at this point in time. One of the things that's happened, I'll show you guys. Maybe I can show you guys today. I keep a chart of my weight. It's actually kind of interesting. So I used to have all these different goals. So I started this like a year ago, and I'll show you guys on the video. I started a year ago, and I had 3 goals. I put 3 goals up there because I didn't know how fast I'd lose weight, and I kind of was like, all right, here's my A goal was like, I don't know, 180 pounds to get down to 180. My B goal, which was the more realistic one, was to get to at least 200. And that's kind of right around where I did Ironman Lake Placid 2 years ago when I actually finished it. And my C goal was utterly ridiculous. And it was just like if everything fell into place and the diet was perfect and maybe I get to like 165, which ridiculous. I didn't think I would actually hit that. I didn't want to put a floor in at 180 when, I kind of look around and I say to myself, everyone who's competing in triathlon, who's like winning their age group, those guys are like 160, 155, they're down there in weight. And so I'm, I didn't know where the training was going. You're a year out. So you're like, let's just throw it out there just to see what it looks like. Now, since then, it's been, 7 months, and I've removed 2 of the goals because they're not realistic anymore. So I just have 1, which is the easiest goal to reach. And I have like a best fit line. And you could look at the line. You can look at, and I told you how I monitor my weight with every week. Basically, it's the average of every week. And you can see how it kind of like slides down. There's a couple little hiccups, and there's a decent hiccup in December. I took like 2 or 3 weeks off, and my diet was bad over the holidays. That was just, my head wasn't in it. I just couldn't wrap myself around it. With the baby, with the holidays, everything. It just was, I don't know. This is what happens to me. But I've kind of resumed a decent, down slope with the weight. The last month, it's been a little bit sideways, but, the best fit line says I can get to around 210. I got to get lower than that, though. My goal says 205 here at least. So that's the goal. I like the chart. And, I like monitoring it. I like just, having something to look at to tell you how you're doing. I like the chart. Anyway, so what's today? Today's Friday? Jeez. So, yeah, I don't know how I got to kind of sit down with the schedule. And I'm going to do it when the podcast uploads because it takes like a half an hour to compile. It drives me insane. But I'm going to sit down with the schedule. Next Wednesday, I'm going to be in New York City. We have a interview scheduled with Ramon Burmo. I think everything's all set for that. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm like, I am no professional videographer here. And I am completely overwhelmed with all the stuff I'm going to need to carry down to New York. Completely overwhelmed. But you can't shy away from things because it makes you nervous. I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to take all this stuff. I'm going to, anything that's plugged in here, I'm going to throw in a bag, put in my trunk, and drive to New York. I'm actually going to New Jersey. We've got a conference room not rented, but reserved, and we're going to do the show on the road. I really like this. It's something new, something different. Hopefully the things work. I may also try to sneak a solo podcast in this weekend only because I have nothing else planned, and I feel like I owe you guys one. I got something on my mind too, so I know you think, oh, you didn't get it out? You've been talking for 21 minutes. Apparently I have more to say. I don't even think I said anything today. But yeah, so that's the thing right now, right? Is I got to focus on my schedule, got to adjust it. And this is part of the thing too, is like, I like to look forward and I like to say, all right, and this week, next week I'll be doing 16-mile long run. The next week I'll be doing a 17-mile long, things like that. And I like to plan all that stuff out. But then you get a hiccup and you have like rest days that are unexpected or things get in the way. You got to adjust on the fly. That's why these cookie cutter plans aren't always the answer, and you have to kind of adjust. And that's what we're going to be doing this week. I don't know when I'm going to get on the bike. I can't get on Sunday because I just won't be here. I'm in Boston, so I don't. This is the problems that you face. I almost should do the long run today. I could maybe squeeze it in, and then try to get a bike ride in tomorrow. Now that I say it, it sounds pretty good. Anyway, all right. Yeah, hopefully by next week I'll have this all figured out. Hopefully. I think I will. I'm in a good frame of mind, guys. As much as missing doing a rest day 2 days ago and then active rest with just the swimming yesterday. I haven't lost it yet. I think I'm still focused enough to get this thing done. So, on that note, let's go. Let's get Friday going. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope you have your weekends better planned than I do. And remember, every day is an ordinary day. It takes you to make it extraordinary. So get after it, guys.
Remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel.